All right, Colin Fox trying to get down, Barstool Backstage, here in a conference room in wonderful Camden, New Jersey, before a sold-out show at the Fillmore in Philadelphia tonight with this man to my left, Mr. Jack Kays. Jack, how are you today, buddy?
I'm amazing. How are you?
I'm fucking great. Other than the fact that I had to turn my head around like Fred Durst, because I got shadows on my face behind now, I'm all right. But we're happy to have Jack here today. Jack, you're getting over a little bit of a fever, right?
Yeah, I'm coming down from it.
Coming down?
Yeah.
Proud of you, because I didn't know if this was going to happen today. I didn't want to have to put you out. But you're toughing it out for the show tonight, though.
Yeah, man, I gotta make it happen.
100%. How long have you been on the road now?
Little over 3 weeks.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So be honest with me. Before COVID, were you touring, or did this all kind of happen during COVID?
No, I wasn't doing anything. I was working at a restaurant before COVID.
What were you doing?
I was sous chef.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm bartender, so
Yeah.
We talked before we got on here, and I was like, I fucking love this guy already, dude. This is perfect.
Hell yeah.
So, obviously, this is a big change for you. You're going from doing nothing on the road to then 3 weeks at a pop. Has it been like a crazy adjustment for you?
Mentally, no. Physically, yes.
Physically is the hardest part.
Yeah, man.
I
honestly thought it would be a lot more on my, I deal with some mental health stuff, so I thought it'd be a lot harder on that.
Yeah.
But, honestly, I feel great in my head.
Yeah.
Feel like fucking on top of the world, but my body just wants to quit, you know?
Everybody thinks that touring is sitting around eating sushi in the goddamn green room, and it's really just like being cooped in a van and driving, and it beats the holy hell out of you.
Yeah, dude. It's been a lot of chicken and rice for me, not much sushi.
Chicken and rice is the road meal?
Yeah, it's the road meal. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question too. Have you picked a favorite gas station yet?
Oh, man.
Alright, so my wife thinks it's the weirdest thing in the world, but I'm obsessed with tour gas station food.
No, I love gas station food. I was a road tripper when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So gas station food is I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, 100%. For me, I like a nice Pilot or a Flying J.
My favorite gas station so far has been this one in the middle of Wyoming. And the gas station clerk, only spoke in sounds. He literally did not speak in words. And there was 12 animal heads on the wall.
Okay, so my best one, we got caught in a rainstorm in Alabama one time in the backwoods. We had to stop at a gas station that was an ammo store / gas station, which is the most Alabama shit of all time.
By the way?
What's up?
Can I cuss on here?
You fucking kidding me? Of course you can cuss on here.
I just keep saying fuck, and I'm like,
yeah, no, you can, no, absolutely. But it was in the middle of a hurricane, went in, didn't buy ammo, but we got stuck outside, and my cousin, who's one of our touring guitar players, long hair, tie-dye t-shirt, smoking weed outside of the gas station, and a random truck pulls up. And this dude with his windows down gets out, and he walks up to me, who honestly, I look like I work for Ernst & Young or some shit. I look like I could be in finance. He goes, "You got weed?" And I looked at him and went, "You fucking asked me?" I was like, "This guy next to me smoking weed." And he looked at me and he kind of gave me this look "All right, motherfucker." Went back to his truck and I was like, "We're gonna die." He sat in his truck for 5 minutes and stared at us and then just drove off into the distance. Oof. This is tour. This is what tour is all about, dude.
Life.
It is that life, dude.
That's that rockstar lifestyle.
Well, let me ask you a question. So you're on the road now. How did this all get started for you? In COVID, what was the launching point for you to be where you are now?
It's me and this guy over in the corner right here, my manager. I met him, and then he tells me, you should post on TikTok. Post on TikTok. Next day, 10,000 followers.
It happened in one day?
Yeah, it was a day-long thing. And
what
then,
the fuck?
A month or two later, we're talking to labels.
That is truly incredible.
It was insane.
I feel like that's an act of God.
Yeah, no, I constantly thank the universe for this shit.
I mean, it's so funny because I come from I've seen different steps. I feel like when we first started as a band, it was gotta do alternative radio. And then midway through that, it became all right, Instagram's the shit. And then gotta get on Spotify playlists. And now it's the TikTok thing. And
even TikTok now is fading out because there's so many artists on TikTok.
Yeah.
There's room for another way for people to come out.
I wonder what the next thing is.
Shit. For me, I know it's touring.
Yeah.
I've never made a connection with people like I have on the road.
Has it tour surprised you at all? What did it match expectations?
We did 5 shows back in January.
Yeah.
And we sold everyone out.
Wow.
And then when we were booking the next tour, we were doing 18 cities and taking a step up in a lot of the rooms and we're doing 500 caps. And I'm like, there's no way that we're gonna sell any of these out. I'm fucking playing empty rooms. But last night's first time in Boston, 550 caps, sold it out.
Unfucking believable.
It's unreal, dude. Like, we played Bowery Ballroom in New York. It was packed thick. Like,
it's just such a good room, too. The Bowery Ballroom
it was
fucking
insane.
great.
It was my favorite show of the tour so far. But, like, it's like the biggest ego boost, but it's also, like, really humbling at the same time.
Well, that's what I wonder a lot about, like, because, I mean, we've talked to a lot of these bands where it's like, I wonder if they appreciate like, how, because they're thinking to myself, like, Armani White, if we're talking about TikTok, is a good buddy of mine.
Okay.
And I've watched Armani for 10 years fight his way through and then get the TikTok thing, and now he's doing the EMAs and he's, like, doing stadiums and shit. And I can see on his face the gratitude that he has for it.
For sure.
But that's what interests me to talk to you, because I know that this happened kind of quickly for you.
Yeah.
But it makes me really happy to see that you do have that, like, appreciation for it.
No, dude, I'm so grateful. Like, you know, every morning I wake up and I just thank God.
What were you doing before? Because we talked off air about this, but, like, what was before TikTok for you?
I was working in a restaurant, you know, struggling with alcoholism and addiction.
Yeah.
Like, living in a fucking house I was built in 1913.
Wow.
Walls falling off, like, I mean, roaches. Like, I was, you know, down bad.
Yeah, you ran it.
Yeah, I was in it.
Did you kick the drugs and alcohol before all this started? Or was it, like, kind of at the same time, like, everything came together for you?
At the same time, everything came together.
Wow.
I started realizing that, like, I gotta get my shit together if I want it to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in a program now, so I'm feeling good. Like,
Shout out that. That's fucking beautiful.
thanks, man.
Well, and when I listen to the new record, because that's one thing I definitely want to talk about, is the new EP that just came out.
Yeah.
This was an introduction to me to you as you, because my first introduction to you was the Travis Barker record,
Okay.
which we will get into.
Yeah.
But I just want to say there's a song on there that actually really struck me, and it was 28.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm 31 now. But I remember when I first started this kind of musical journey, I remember I used to say to, and I think Paul, my best friend and, like, one of our closest advocates, can back me up on this, I used to always say, dude, if I keep working like this, I'm not going to fucking make it to 30.
Swear.
What is 28 about?
You know, there's a lot of layers to that song.
Yeah.
The first one is, like, that 27 Club idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where, like, you know, an artist works himself so hard that they just, like, inevitably don't make it to 30.
Yeah.
But, like, for me, it's, like, this idea that, you know, I'm bipolar, so I have these, like, two sides of myself, right?
Mm.
And, you know, there's times where I think or say that I do things that, that, like, seem so real, or they, like, seem so, like, they seem right in the moment.
Yeah.
Then the next day, or the next week, whenever I get out of that headspace, it scares the shit out of me that I, like, thought that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's, like, that kind of idea where it's, like, on one side, I'm, like, asking God to take me, like, I'm so fucking tired of this.
Yeah.
And then I'm, like, oh, shit, I'm scared that, like, I'm not gonna live anymore.
Right.
Like, there's two sides of that, you know
Especially
what I mean?
with the beauty that's, like, surrounding you now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
So when you wrote that song to now, is it interesting to go back and look at where you were when you wrote that to how you feel now?
Sometimes I'm, like, still in that place, you know? It wasn't that long ago that was one of the last records that I finished for the EP.
Really?
Yeah, so it was, like, it wasn't that long ago that I wrote that.
I think it's really impressive that a dude at your age can synthesize a thought like that and do it eloquently. And I think, like, that to me is, like, because I think we get sent music a lot as people who, like, work in music. Like, I'm sure you get sent a lot of music too.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, I'll check this out. I'll glance over it. And I like the entire EP, but that song to me was, like, as a songwriter, I'm like, whoa.
I appreciate that.
For someone to put that to pen, what are you, 24?
23.
Fuck you.
24.
Fuck you. That's awesome, dude. But no, it's truly impressive, and I think
I appreciate that, man.
And there's a lot of people that listen to you, and a lot of people who are probably in the same headspace that are thinking that too.
Yeah, and that's what it's really for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Music was, like, such a fucking staple for me when I was, like, going through what I was going through.
Yeah.
And so for me to, like, be able to return the favor the same way is the coolest shit in the world.
Did you grow up in a musical household?
Yeah, my dad, my uncle, like, my dad's been in bands my whole life, so
Oh, that's dope.
he used to have me on stage to, like sing a song or two.
Wow.
Like, my first instrument was drums, so he'd have me on stage to drum a couple times. Like,
That's fucking fire.
been drumming since I was 3 years old, you know.
Yeah.
They put me in piano lessons when I was in 4th grade.
It's so important, dude.
Yeah, I think, like, you know, that's the best gift that my parents ever gave me was, like, training me to be a musician.
I grew up the same way.
Yeah?
My pops is a blues musician, and so
Hell yeah.
he actually hit it for me. He did.
For real?
I didn't know until I was 8. I found a guitar in the crawl space, and I made him teach me. And now we're sitting here, dude. Music is a fucking gift. It's a gift from God, and I don't want to get religious, but it comes from somewhere, bro.
No, I swear.
But like, I'm looking at where you are now, right? And the fact that like so much of your music does connect with people and connects with people like a level of like what we were talking about with 28, has touring been able to like actually physically show you? Because through the internet, people can say like, "Wow, your music means so much to me," but then to meet people at a show, and they're like, the energy return. Like, what has that been like for you?
You know, it's kind of overwhelming sometimes. Like, if I meet somebody after the show, like, you know, I'm so grateful to be able to help people, but I think sometimes people might forget that, like, you know, I'm a person that's, like, still going through these things.
Yeah.
So they're talking to me about, like, their experience with suicidal ideation or their experience with self-harm and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of hits close to home for me sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I'm not in the best headspace to be able to deal with that, and it's like, I, like, have the conversation, and then the entire way home I'm just, like, dissociating.
Yeah. Do you know the band A1 Nation?
No, I don't.
It's a big song called Sail that came out. It's big on TikTok again now, but one of our co-hosts is Kenny from...
I remember that song, yeah.
So Kenny from that band is a member of our podcast, and he always talks about, like, when they, like, first got big and people would come and, like some fans push the line. Like, they're like, here's my dirty socks, I want you to have them. It's like...
No, literally.
Ugh, all right, man.
Yeah, and it's, like, cool, you know what I mean? Like, I'm really grateful to be able to do that, and, like, there's a saying in the program that I'm in that's, like, you know, the best way to heal yourself is to help others.
Yeah.
Like, the best way to get outside of yourself is to go and help somebody else.
Absolutely.
So, like, for me, it's like, it's therapy for me, but sometimes it does cross a line and it can be a little intense.
On the note of, like, therapy, and I don't mean, like, sitting in a chair and talking to somebody, but, like, I know music to most people, and, like, to us, is therapy.
Yeah.
Does it ever... Because I know music for me gets kind of heavy in the perspective of sometimes it does feel like a job. Do you know what I mean? Like, the thing that you care about the most in the world, has, like, the fact that you've jumped into this so quickly ever, like, weigh on you at all? Or do you ever get, like, look at your guitar and be like, I don't feel like doing this
That's
today?
something that I've, like, always been talking to my team about, and that I'm, like, making sure that we don't cross that line. Like, that's why I'm on a 1-month tour, not a 3-month tour.
That's so fucking smart, dude.
You know?
Yeah. You need to, like, ease your way into that.
Exactly. And, like, you know, there's a lot of older musicians that I've talked to that have been touring their whole lives, and they're like, yeah, I fucking hate touring.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, what was your experience with touring? And they're like, oh, 6 shows a week for 6 months at a time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, of course you hate it.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
very cool. Dude, if you eat the same food every day, you're going to wind up hating it.
Literally. But, like, you know, if you give yourself a month and you do, like, you know, 17 shows even, like, is laying it on a little thick right now.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm gonna get off tour, and I'll tell you, I'm gonna be excited to go back out on the road again.
Hell yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna get off tour and be like, fuck that, never again.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't want to put myself in that position, like, when it comes to playing the guitar, when it comes to touring, when it comes to being in the studio, like, none of that.
I think it's impressive, too, that this record was all just you and the guitar.
Yeah.
And I love that. But the other side of you that I did hear was the Travis Barker collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we have a running joke on the podcast about, we call it Travis Barker's Traveling Mafia, is the fact that there's so many people doing the Travis Barker collabs.
Legendary.
How did that come about?
You know, a couple of weeks before I signed, he DM'd me, and obviously I'm, like, right there, like...
This came from a DM?
Yeah. Yeah, and he DM'd me, and I was like, yo, what's up? And he just sent me his phone number, and then I texted him, and before he even texted back, he, like, FaceTimed me.
What?
Yeah. Like, so we had, like, I don't, like, collaborate often,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, like, the reason that it feels so good with Travis is because, like, he built a relationship with me before the collaboration was ever a thing.
Right.
So we were talking for a few months before I even went to the studio with him. And then, like, when I went to the studio with him, he was so kind and just, like, made me feel comfortable.
Yeah.
So, like, really, honestly, it's just, like, he's a good dude.
Yeah.
I like him. He likes me. We have a good time together. Like, it feels like a friendship more than a collaboration.
Yeah, and it is funny, too, because, like, as much as we do talk about Travis doing so much shit, everybody who meets the guy loves him.
He's the nicest dude.
That's all I've ever heard.
He doesn't need to be that nice. That's what I always say to my girl. Like, I'm like, dude, like, this dude is so nice. Yesterday I texted him. It was his birthday yesterday. I'm like, yo, happy birthday, man. And he's like, thanks, man. I love you so much. I'm so proud of you.
Jesus.
And I just, like, it brings a tear to my eye. I've, like, looked up to this guy for so long. Like, you don't need to, like, be that nice to me, you know?
Every sarcastic remark I've ever made about all the Travis Barker collaborations I take back. Everybody fucking loves this guy, man.
Like, that's, like, yeah, he's a great drummer.
Yeah.
One of the best to ever do it.
Of course.
But I think the real reason that you see Travis's name everywhere is because, like, he's so nice to everybody, and everybody fucks with him so much.
Yeah.
And it's, like, when you go into his studio and you make a song with him, you, like, have, like, a good feeling when you leave the studio.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you
it's
can.
like you listen to that song and every single time you think about when you made it, and it's like, I want to put that shit out.
Dog, you can meet some of your heroes who wind up being jerk-offs. And
Yeah, man.
I've
I
been
met
there.
Afro Man.
You met Afro Man?
Yeah, I opened for him like back in like 2017.
Not a good dude.
Not a really great dude.
You know what my first one was?
Sorry if you're watching this, man, but like,
hey, Afro Man.
Best impression.
Fuck you, dude. You know who mine was, dude? There's this band from the 90s called Better Than Ezra. They have like a bunch of alt hits. And we opened for them in Philly, and they made us stand outside of the venue while they sound checked for over an hour. Like we couldn't even be. They were like, no green room. You will stand on the street. And like we had our fans like lining up at the door, and we were just sitting on our amps outside, being like, we don't know what the fuck is going on.
Sheesh.
I hate that guy. Better Than Ezra guy. If you're watching this, you and Afro Man can plug yourselves, dude. I blew him a kiss on stage. It was great. But I do want to end on this, because I know we got to get you to the show. You've been gracious to fucking fight through the cold. Big show tonight, by the way. If you're not at the Foundry, you messed up. You got to be there.
Yeah, man.
I think the one thing that has impressed me as well with you, because I talked to a lot of like the younger generation too, and there almost seems like there's like a willful, I don't want to use the word ignorance, but like a wanting to not know or associate with older music in a weird way. But with you, I instantly heard a lot of, like, you seem like someone with a deep knowledge or a care for music. Because you obviously grew up in it.
Yeah.
What did you grow up
on? My first concert was Van Halen.
That's fucking sick.
In like 3rd grade.
Yeah.
After that, I went to like the Styx concert.
Hell yeah.
You know, my dad was like rolling around listening to Bruce Springsteen.
Good man.
I grew up with like old hits.
Yeah.
You know? And I grew up with my dad like preaching like you gotta respect your instrument, and like the best thing you can do as a musician is like really know how to play.
Yeah.
My uncle is my guitar teacher.
Oh, sweet.
Until recently I started taking lessons with him. But I was like self-taught before then, but he's like a classical guitarist, like went to school. So like honestly, I was just like, I was raised on like the idea that like if you want to be successful as a musician, you gotta know how to play that shit.
100%.
You know, my piano teacher would like come over and like if my nails weren't short enough, she would like cut them. Like she would stop the lesson to cut them.
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we got bouncers at the door, by the way. That was fucking sick. Great move, bro.
Man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Sam is on it.
Bro, this is what I love doing interviews in actual musical situations, to where it's like, we could do this at like a beautifully lit studio, or we could do it really what tours like. Conference room at the goddamn Hilton Hotel in Camden, New Jersey.
Man, cross the river from Philly.
Cross the river, dude. Enjoy the city, by the way. This is my hometown. I love it dearly. If you need any suggestions, here's a suggestion. Say "Go Birds" on stage at some point tonight. Okay, cool. Go Birds means go Eagles. That's like, yeah, trust me. I was gonna bring an Eagles hat for you, just to rock it on stage. Okay. If you want to kiss some ass tonight, just hit them with a "Go Birds" in between songs. Okay, cool. But when we talk about real situations, you're a real ass dude, and you absolutely have gained a fan through me this week, and I think a lot of people are about to find that out too. But Jack Kays, this has been a fucking absolute pleasure. Anything else from me, buddy?
Nah, man.
Go Birds?
Go Birds.
Go Birds, see? You figured it out, dude. Everybody, go check Jack out on tour when he's back out there. Go check out the new EP. What's it called? Cessation. Check out the Travis Barker. What was the first record called?
On the Travis Barker?
No. The Travis Barker EP, but I'm saying your first record before this. You did an EP before the Travis Barker one, right?
Yeah. Like the big record that like popped off was Morbid Mind. Morbid Mind, that's what it was. But I like the Morbid Mind record. There was a little bit more hip hop on that too. Yeah, that was like my like roots and like music making was all hip hop. Really? Yeah. What are you into hip hop wise? Oh man. Afro Man? Nothing but Afro Man? No, like I love Kendrick. Yes. I love Juice. Yes. I was like a huge X fan. You know what that makes sense now that I'm thinking about the music. Yeah, like I love that shit. Yeah. And then like my producer, who's like the DJ on stage tonight. Yeah. He's like a huge drill fan. Fuck yeah. Little Ice Spice up there. What are we doing? Man, like it's more of like a set catered to my crowd. So I wish he could like play some of it, but like, I mean, he loves Chief Keef. Fuck yeah. He fucking loves Shy Glizzy. Like, yo. Dude, like, but you're a DC guy, so Shy Glizzy's probably important to you. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. See, next time we're doing this, it's just Colin and Jack talk rap, and then we'll get really into it, dude. Hell yeah, dude. All right, everybody, we got to get out of here.
Jack Kays. I
Dude,
love
thanks
you.
for having me.
I really do love you. For Barstool Backstage, I'm Colin. We'll see you
Jack.
next time. We did that so shitty. I'm Colin.
I'm Jack.
And this is Barstool Backstage. We'll see you next time.